Welcome to day 22. And things are starting to get crazy because we're going to read Daniel today and get into Amos as well. But I want to focus in on Daniel on day 22 here for this little recap. I was recently watching a movie with a friend, and I said, things are going to get way worse than this in this movie. And my friend's like, why would you say that? And I'm like, because every good writer knows that the problem has to become a bigger problem in order to hook the audience for a satisfying payoff. And that's typically, how things work. Act 1, characters, problem. Act 2, crazy problem. Act 3, worse problem. And then the payoff. This is what's kind of happening in Daniel. Daniel's like, problem. I just got carried off from Israel into Babylon, and I don't belong here. And there's going to be all these challenges. There's going to be all these abuses that Daniel suffers, psychological abuses, like they're changing his name. They're forcing him to eat food that he doesn't want to eat. They're forcing him to worship people that he just refuses to worship. And it's not just a testing, it's abuse, right? Because they're trying to change him. They got Daniel out of Israel, but they're trying to get the Israel out of Daniel. And Daniel's like, no, I've purposed in my heart that I'm going to be loyal to Yahweh come hell or high water. It doesn't matter what happens. I will suffer these psychological abuses. And if you want to literally kill me, go ahead. But I'm going to stay loyal to Yahweh. So they try and kill him, like twice. They try to kill him, and he stays faithful to Yahweh. And it's an incredible story, but things just keep getting worse for Daniel. The plot thing. I mean, like he literally goes through so he's conquered by the Babylonians, and then the Babylonians get conquered by the Persians and the Medes. This guy has survived two unsurvivable military clashes. Plus he survives, and both of those militaries try to kill him in separate incidences, right? The furnace and the lion's den. It's just crazy, but this guy's unsinkable.
Hi, I hope you're enjoying this thread, but I wanted to take a moment to tell you about Theos Seminary, where we offer certificates, bachelor's, and master's in biblical studies, and all at a really low price point because we believe that you should be able to get a Bible degree without breaking the bank. In fact, our certificate programs are $999, and our bachelor's and master's start at $99 a month. Our program is subscription-based, which means you can pause and stop at any time because we know that life happens. And perhaps my favorite part is the fact that we have an incredible student life community where our students get sorted into 4 houses. It's so much fun. We have competitions, in-person meetups, online events, student unions. It's phenomenal. So we would love to have you a part of that community. If you're at all interested, shoot me an email before February 1st. I will waive your enrollment fee. It's Brittany@theosseminary.com. I would love to meet you, answer any questions that you might have, and we would be so honored to have you at Theos Seminary. Come join us.
And so he makes it through all of these abuses and these psychological abuses and these attempts on his life, these political attempts on his life. Because once again, Daniel is in a place of influence. When you're in a place of influence and you don't play ball with the people of influence, they're going to try to assassinate you. They'll always try to kill you. And so this is what's happening in Daniel's life. He's also a political victim because of his loyalty to Yahweh, and because of the place of political influence that Yahweh's put him in. So towards the end of the book, Daniel begins to see, it's like Lord of the Rings vibes, like the Sauron's gathering of the orcs, the end times. And he sees that his life is a microcosm. The psychological abuse and the political abuse that he experienced is a microcosm of what is going to be a continual cycle and perhaps a large-scale event at the end of all times, the end of days for the people of God. And the point here is that the same way that Daniel was rescued, and the way that God is going to do for Daniel what he did, or God is going to do for the people of God what he did for Daniel, that Daniel's life is a microcosm. And so you can have this hope and this confidence. See, there's two ways of looking at the eschaton. There is a pessimistic way and a faith way, not optimistic, but a faith way. And the faith way is this, is that if I stay faithful to Yahweh, even though things might be crazy and I'm cast into a furnace or I'm eaten by lions, whether God delivers me or not. And that's a horrible, horrible drama. But in the end, I win because Yahweh wins, right? Like, be of good cheer, for I have overcome the world, is what Jesus says. And so Jesus wins. If Jesus wins and I'm on the team of Jesus, I win. And so the deliverance is that much sweeter. So no matter what happens in our world, if there's more wars, if the stock market does whatever, if there's absolute and total chaos, that is drama of a good story. But the beauty is that we have the inside track. And the inside track is that Christ wins. He destroys all of his enemies. And he comes back and he redeems all of his people. And so the book of Daniel is a message not just for the Babylonians or the Judeans in exile, in Babylonian exile, or the people of God that were reading this and hearing this, and they've returned and they're being encouraged by the story of Daniel that God is the one who shapes history and that Israel is going to be okay. But it's also for the church, people, you and I, who are going through times of uncertainty, and we're not sure what the end is going to look like, but we know this, that Jesus wins, and that no matter, if the story gets worse and the story gets cloudier and it gets darker and there's an army of orcs, we know that at first light, Gandalf comes over he appears at Helm's Deep on a white horse and he wins, he destroys. And so we just need to stay faithful to the Lord.